Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Youth Frequency this evening. So good evening, our legends. You know, Youth Frequency only on Radio Ansaar 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in PMB. So where your young voices, are being heard, they're celebrated. I'm your host, Sumaya Khan, and this evening we are joined by
Jamie,
Liam, Tariq.
Yes.
Welcome.
Our topic this evening, no one gets left behind. How youth engagement impacts community. So are young people really shaping our communities, or are they waiting for permission? Can one idea, one volunteer, one entrepreneur, or one content creator, or one ordinary young person spark something significant? Can there be change? So tonight we're joined by three incredible young change makers who are proving that age doesn't define impact, action does. So whether you're listening in your car, studying, relaxing at home, or hanging out with friends this Friday, stay tuned, because this conversation could inspire you to become the difference your community needs. So this is Youth Frequency, where the future doesn't wait, it speaks. So guys, good to be in studio.
Hey, so happy to be here.
So happy to be back in the studio, guys. How are you?
Good. Liam, you're supposed to do woo.
Wait.
Woo. Woo. Yeah. Holidays. Oh, you're not on holiday.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, we're part of the youth
Working.
that go to work.
Oh, excuse me.
And we have to be like adults.
Oh, at least you're not telling me that you're unemployed, okay?
I mean, fair
wow.
enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I'm into that. Our topic this evening, no one gets left behind, how youth engagement impacts community. One wouldn't say how does youth impacts the community, but it really does. It makes a difference, because the youth are the future leaders of that community. So when you're looking at the youth and identity, what does one get left behind means to you personally, Liam?
I think anybody who has become excluded or sort of left behind by the community, or should I say by the village. Everyone, I said this last week on the show, that everyone wants to be part of the village, but no one wants to be a villager. And sometimes there's those people who are not villagers, not by their own choice, but because they've been disenfranchised. It could be anyone who's the elderly. Some of the youth get forgotten or neglected, really young children, and they're forgotten by the communities and not supported. So for me, people who are left behind, or anyone who take up space in a community but are not acknowledged or recognized within that community.
Yeah. Do you know, Jamie, do young people underestimate their own power to create change? What would you say? I'll say they all do it.
We all do it, absolutely, but I feel especially the youth, they don't understand the gold that is the youth. They don't understand that not only are they the future, but they literally are the community. They are the people. They are the world that we're trying to, we're trying to create a better world than it is for them. At the end of the day, it's like, if that is the current state, they are the youth. And I think that they also underestimate the power of their voices and the power of one. So sometimes we wait for other people to be that change. Oh no, it can't be me. Just me doing it is not going to make a difference. And a lot of people in general, not only the youth, feel this way. So for sure they do underestimate their power.
Exactly. Zach, I love doing this on my show. Our guest who's seated there, Tariq, we were like trying to go back in time. Would you tell our listeners why? But we place each other there.
Firstly, thank you so much, Sumaya, and crew, for having me on show this evening.
I thought you were going to call me Miss Khan.
Miss Khan. So I actually, upon bumping into you, we've realized after so many years that you were actually a teacher of mine, or could have been a teacher of my brother, which is quite shocking, because I can't put a picture to your face, but I can actually put a voice to you, because I think just listening to you online and now officially meeting you, it's like, oh, this was my teacher years back. So it feels like an honor. It's a bit of happy moments to bump into each other years later. And Alhamdulillah, we're here today.
Alhamdulillah, to all my colleagues and friends from my school, if they're going to watch, they'll say, gosh, we know that guy. Remember he did this? And then I'll say, oh yeah, so it's that child. I hope there wasn't any issues when mommy or daddy came to school.
No, we can't talk about that here.
Okay, we do the dirty laundry when we're off air. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tariq.
So my name is Tariq Stokes. I'm originally from, as we say, Sydenham. Not many people know that. Grew up with my family. For 10 years, yes, from the NIMS. We stayed here for 10 years, and we relocated back to our official home, which is actually Wentworth, where our family is from. And yeah, just a young normal guy. I like to label myself as normal. Sometimes society can put pressure, but I'm a normal guy from the community, just trying to help where I can with the resources that I have. I'm into fitness. I own my own brand called Team Stokes Fitness, and in a nutshell, we just create safe spaces for people to come together and get healthy. I'm also involved in some community work. I wouldn't say everything. And as I said, just lending a hand as a normal resident, trying to make it a better place.
You're being too humble.
He's being so modest right
Exactly. Just say it. I'm one of the guys there who are trying to save my counterparts.
Yeah.
Trying to make it happen. Tariq, if you could change one thing in your community tomorrow, what would it be?
Mindsets. I think that's something I can just think off the top of my head, is the mindsets of not just the youth, but just in general, because mindsets is so stuck onto culture. And I think what we face, or we've faced in our communities for, if not 50 years, more than that, is that people think a certain way because of our culture that's attached to being a colored person, if you can say so. I would say definitely the mindsets of people, or keeping them not just in the community but the spaces that they are stuck in mentally. So it's definitely mindsets is a big thing.
So people are still trapped in their stereotypes. So they need to come out of that,
yes,
to make something, bring change. Jamie, getting involved, why do so many young people choose to complain instead of getting involved? And is volunteering still relevant in 2026, or you'll expect to get some moolah ching ching?
So I think that it is easier to complain than it is to lend a helping hand when that's what we've been taught. So we don't really realize, first of all, how easy it is to help. Helping doesn't need to be giving all these millions or moving this big mountain. It can be small things and simple things a lot of the time that people need help with, and small things that really set off great change. So I do think that sometimes it's easier to complain, and we're also so used to that. We saw our mothers and our grannies and our great grannies do that. So that's where we have to realize that we can be the change, and we can do more about it. And when it comes to volunteering, I think that it is a beautiful thing, and not just everybody is in it for money. There are people, of course, but that just comes back to society, the way that life is set up. We need money for things, but volunteering is a very beautiful thing, and it's a way to also give back to your community without expecting anything, because I think that the greatest blessings come from not expecting anything.
Exactly. Liam, you know what? From last week's show, everybody's asking me, who's that dude? Is he studying political science with his tin cap? And you're like,
shiny tin hat.
Yeah. So gosh, that's like accolades for you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, representing the youth with your history.
I read the newspaper.
Do they still exist?
No, they're online now. It's not actual paper. The only time you see newspapers when you're buying fish.
Do you know? No, but I'm going to say this. When you're cleaning your windows, you can't find newspapers.
The newspaper is different now. The ink changed, so you can't actually wet it. You actually have to use window cleaner.
And you know what? We use the local gazettes to clean windows.
You know that one they stick in your gate.
Yeah, and I just hope someone lives there, so my helper will have extra newspaper if she needs to.
I'll steal the neighbor's one sometime.
Paper on window is the best.
You can't beat it. Can get a microfiber. I know. December time comes, you gotta go clean windows before festive, before the guests are in the house. So
that's enough.
We're there with the window cleaner, the Mr. Muscle, the sunlight soap.
Hey, what about the painting?
Aye, Aye, that one there, hey, you get a headache after spending the whole day painting the posy.
But, it's so good to hear you guys still doing that. I thought, we slightly older folks only did that. We thought you're just chilling, sleeping, getting up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No such thing.
Going to the local place and just...
The jams
chilling.
are cranking on the TV. The TV screen is blue. The DVD sign is bouncing up and down, and we're sweeping.
When we're looking at the youth today, what's stopping today's youth from taking leadership roles?
I think a lot of them fear responsibility in a lot of ways, because with leadership there's a lot of responsibility that you need to take on, and I think a lot of kids shy away from it because maybe it may be deemed uncool. Maybe they may see it as not cool to be the person delegating tasks. But I genuinely think that the youth have, but I mean young people ever since the dawn of time have become very egocentric, where they're really worried about how they're perceived or what their self-image looks like. And if what you are saying, even if it's the correct thing or the right thing to say to the other young peers, doesn't align with what's cool at the time, they may be a little bit more hesitant or resistant to trying to take that leadership. I think also there's a lack of belief or a lot of self-doubt within them. So a lot of young people don't rise to the challenge. And I think the biggest contributing factor to that is a lot of young people fear failure. And failure is just an opportunity to learn and grow. Exactly. I mean, you break a bone, it heals stronger. Let that failure calcify and build you. So I think that's why young people are staying away from leadership.
Leadership. Tariq, let's just keep it real, right? These are your views and opinions. What's the biggest leadership lesson you've learned the hard way?
I think that's a bit of a on the spot one, but truly speaking, I'll say this on air, the hardest lesson that I've learned is that you got to take the rap for certain things. There's a deep accountability attached to being a leader that a lot of people don't just fear, but they can't manage. And there's this thing of managing accountability when you're a leader. And I was just talking to a friend earlier on, we had a chat over WhatsApp, and I was saying to him that when you're a leader, sometimes there's certain things that you just got to take the rap for because you're in that position. And sometimes we find today, why I'm saying accountability is because leaders today do not take accountability. And we need to start respecting leadership positions, because whenever you are placed in any form of leadership position, you need to take it with a certain level of seriousness, because you are guiding or leading people. You understand? So whether it's on the basis of being in society leadership positions, or whether it's being in community leadership positions or spiritual leadership positions or even business leadership positions, you got to take it serious, because you are accountable for the people, not just behind you, but the systems, operations, the companies, whatever leadership position that you're in, you need to take it with some sort of accountability. And you can't really throw in a towel when you're a leader, because at the end of the day, you're a leader and there's no one for you to turn to but to lead.
I love what you're saying, because when we look at our country currently, leadership positions, we are just looking at it like, how many bars or millions can I take? What can I buy with that money? It's not about serving the people.
Yes.
It's about serving myself and helping myself to what I want. And that's quite sad, because now we're becoming a typical country in Africa. I'm not saying it happens only in Africa, but Africa has a reputation of where the leaders tend to let their people just suffer, and they just tend to steal everything. Jamie, have you ever failed while trying to make a difference? While you ever failed?
Yes, we fail all the time as human beings. If you're not failing, then you're lying. Stop lying to people. It's normal to fail, and I think that there's something so beautiful about failing. We've learned that, it's something so bad and we need to feel shame and I need to beat myself up about it. But you've only really failed if you don't get back up again after you've fallen.
Exactly.
That's what I will say.
Well, you're listening to Youth Frequency. No one gets left behind. How can the youth engagement impacts community? We'll be taking a short ad break. Frequency. Real issues, real youth. Exclusive to Radio Ansaar with Sumaya Khan.
The views and opinions expressed by the presenters and guests of Radio Al-Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al-Ansar and the Al-Ansar Foundation.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickville Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
In South Africa, countless numbers of sick patients leave their homes at the crack of dawn to join long queues at clinics and public hospitals, many of them suffering pangs of hunger in addition to the symptoms of disease. The Al-Imdad Foundation's Slice for Life teams deliver sandwiches to these patients at more than 40 hospitals and clinics across the country. Help us to keep on relieving hunger. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al-Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al-Ansar and the Al-Ansar Foundation.
This is Real Talk, real issues, real youth. Exclusive to Radio Ansaar with Sumaya Khan.
If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your deen. Your sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. She's independent, this hijab is on deen. She knows what she wants, she is a queen. She don't follow trends in magazines. Quran and Sunnah is a daily routine. If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your deen. Your sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. H-I-J-A-B, she wears it, she's a queen. She wears it for her deen. It's a H-I-J-A-B, sophisticated girl. She's just like a pearl. She covers up her beauty for the one who made this world. If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your deen. Your sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah.
This is Youth Frequency. Real issues, real youth. Exclusive to Radio Ansaar with Sumaya Khan. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Youth Frequency. We are feeling very youthful in studio. We have a full house. And our topic this evening, no one gets left behind. How youth engagement impacts community. In studio we have
Jamie, Liam,
and
Tariq.
He's my boy because I thought him. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Guys, we have a topic this evening. No one gets left behind. How youth engagement impacts community. One would say the youth doesn't make a difference, but they do. They generally do. And you guys are the leaders out there. Liam, can anyone become a leader?
I think anybody can become a leader.
Where do I buy it from?
You can go to the shop downstairs.
Yeah, how much it is for that
It
certificate?
depends who you know. If
Okay.
you know me and you tell them Liam sent you for free, but if you don't say my name, then 100, 200 rand maybe.
Yeah.
Depending who you know. If you wear the right colors on the day, maybe it'll be nice
Oh,
to you.
definitely.
No, but I think anybody can be a leader. There's different ways to lead. There's servant leadership. I always prefer the idea of servant leadership. People who lead from the back, or even, motivate those to do a task by showing them how to do it. At some point in time, you can build up trust with people where you get to the point where you can delegate. But to show that you are capable of leading, you also need to show that you're willing to do the grunt work. And I think a lot of people have large misconceptions about what leadership should look like, especially with what is portrayed in the media with the big boss and this whole pyramid, top-down kind of setup. Sure, that works in some institutions, but I think the best way the youth can go about it is by leading by example, using your actions to inspire others. So as long as you're doing the right thing or you're doing something to make an impact or a difference on your community, others will see by those actions and they'll be like, hey, I see what this guy is doing. If he can do this, I'm from the same place he's from. I'm like him. I see myself in him, or I see myself in her. Maybe if they can do that, then I'm capable of doing that too.
Do your favorite topic, your favorite genre, what you love? What is it?
Social media.
Yes. So is social media creating activists or just influencers? That's the question.
That's a great question.
Is it transformation? Or what's really happening?
So in terms of the first part of that question being activists or influencers, I'd say we got a little bit of both. And even in that, we have people who influence for good. They may not necessarily be activists, but they're people who influence for good. And there's people who may be influence for personal gain. In terms of activists, we have those who are activists for the right causes, who are striving for the betterment of humanity, and those who are striving for the betterment of vanity. I like to call them the cardboard activists.
I love the way you said it.
Yeah. You strive for humanity or you strive for vanity. So I think social media, like we always say, it's a double-edged sword. It's a tool that can be used for a lot of good, but it can also be used to create a lot of harm. And I feel in terms of being an activist on social media, one thing that's so important is doing your due diligence and understanding the topic that you want to be very passionate about. A lot of people will throw the trendiest hashtag in whilst it's, buzzing for that time period, and then a couple months down the line, they're doing things that are counter to the cause that they were supporting. Whatever the cause is, you need to do your homework and actually be, how can I say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's when you do something so that it has a long-lasting impact and can, not just intentional, but it's like not recyclable. What's the other word? I forget. It escapes me now. But something
it's like
that's
always working on it.
Yeah. It's something that's renewable, reusable in a way. I can't figure out what the word is. I'll say it later when I remember.
Definitely. Now I'm thinking, what's that word? Tariq, you are young. As Zach said, you look very athletic. So you love sports. You're very fit. You're a fitness freak, I would say. Would you say that there?
Yes.
You also ran the comrades.
Yes, 2.
Wow, 2. And when, alhamdulillah, when was your first one?
So my first comrades was not planned. It was 2024. I think I spoke to my coach at that time. It could have been around March. And I said, you know what, comrades is about to start, so I would like to participate in it. I feel I'm fit and mentally strong enough to do it. And he believed in me. And I think 2-3 months down the line, I was on the start line of my first comrades. Beautiful experience. Came back last year to get my back-to-back medal. And we just took a break this year. And inshallah, next year we'll be back on the start line for our 100 comrades, the most special comrades in history.
Shout out endurance coaching.
But Liam, Jamie, For me, for you, Zach, just running the comrades, wow, it's like respect.
Yo.
Big time, yeah.
Big time, because
Yeah.
you are going through everything, and we spoke
Different.
about it. I mean,
Yes.
Liam, you too, like that mental health,
Yeah.
the thoughts going in your head.
Yes.
How many hours?
So my first comrades was 9 hours and 34 minutes to be exact. Second comrades was 8 hours and 13 minutes. Very tough for both of them. Happy with my time. Happy with just being able to be healthy to experience the race. But a world of suffering. I'm sure Liam can speak about
So
Resilience.
Robert Mchali and a Bill Rowan.
Yes,
Yeah, don't play. Bill Rowan's the one before silver. That's the one that everyone chases.
true.
So, silver next. I'm joking. Yes,
Don't put
silver
that
next.
pressure.
You never know. No, but anything's possible.
Yes,
Yeah.
anything is possible.
Anything is possible. And you know what? If you have that resilience and you make those sacrifices and, your determination, it's like, you watch those movies, Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Run, Forrest, run.
Run, Forrest. But he did it. He made it,
Yeah.
Tariq, how can young people use social media to create real impact instead of just going viral? We just young people, not young people, I'll say lots of people, we just want to do something to put it on social media, but it's not us. We don't go to the gym. We don't live that life. So how can they keep it real?
I think I said this in a podcast I was on 2 months back about identity with the youth. And we were delving into why people are the way they are, because 9 out of 10 times, and youth specifically, they have no identity.
Yeah.
So the minute you don't know who you are, you do things with ill intentions, or you do things with hidden agendas, because you can't stand
I love
for
that,
anything.
hidden agendas.
Hidden agendas, 100%. So I think to answer your question about the social media part with the youth, I think it's just about not knowing who you are, and then you're trying to fit in a world that doesn't even know where they're going. So you'll find you today are just doing the most trendiest things, or saying the most non-common stuff that are disrespectful, because they're just in those spaces where they want to feel accepted in the wrong way. So we find on social media, people don't even know how to utilize social media. I, for example, on my Instagram app, I can tell you that there's something called a timer, and after 30 minutes of app usage or me being on my phone screen time, it will kick me out of Instagram, but it's optional, and most of the time I just press dismiss and I go out of Instagram. So I think they're not even taught how to use social media. I mean, when I was much younger, we never really have phones
Still
and
so
iPads.
young.
Yeah.
27, alhamdulillah. But back then we never have so many iPads and phones. We were playing outside with bricks in the sand. Now
cakes.
my nephew can sit in front of the TV at times, even though we try to teach him to be outside, even though he has no friends, he's on his own. We try to keep him away from the laptop. So I think it's just no guidance with social media, lack of identity, and just don't know where they're going. And they're using social media in such a bad way. It's detrimental just for their character, because as Liam said, people are getting caught up in things that are going to catch up with them years later. And I think it's just, if you're not going to stand for anything, you're going to find yourself in situations where you just go wherever the wind blows you.
Yeah. Do you know, Liam, even Jamie, can one TikTok reel or post genuinely change a community?
Do you want to go first?
Yes, I think for sure, but we'll take it even further, let alone one TikTok video, one conversation. Sometimes it's even just one word with a person. So as I said earlier, don't ever underestimate the power of one. Don't ever underestimate the power of your words, of your intentions, of your message, especially if it's a testimony, something that you experience that can help and motivate other people. Even more if you're going to put it in a video where people can constantly see it, they can look back on it. So 100%, I think, and that's whether it's something negative or whether it's something that's positive, it can 100% affect you and stay with you.
Okay.
I do believe that a TikTok video or a reel or one viral moment has the ability to change a community, because in reality, what you're doing is you're allowing for people's perspective to change. One successful reel has the opportunity to humanize a disenfranchised group of people, whether it be the homeless, or maybe people have a preconceived idea about a certain type, race, or religion of people. One successful reel or piece of content has the ability to humanize and ground us as people, and sort of give a shared experience, and it allows people to walk in your shoes, even if it's not fully, but just for 5 seconds, and you can change someone's whole mind, someone's whole worldview about a certain topic or people. So I genuinely think there is a good use for social media, especially in Reels.
Exactly. Tariq, when we're looking at skills and opportunities, what skills do you believe every young person should develop or grow before turning 25?
Communication. You must learn how to understand, listen, and communicate what you understand and listen to. So I think a big challenge, and let's just say for Wentworth to be specific, because I'm in the community daily dealing with youth challenges and just day-to-day social economic challenges that are out of our control. Communication. People don't understand things, people don't read, people are not literate with certain things. So I think if you don't know how to communicate, you can't engage with people. And I've seen this multiple times in community work, on a business level, even in family, where lack of communication can cause unnecessary issues and it can hinder you in the long run. And when we talk on a community level, there's no communication with a lot of people, especially with the youth. They don't know how to talk, they don't know how to stand up for something, they don't know how to ask for something. Like I was dealing with a youth and they were asking me for something and I said, just be direct. You know, like just, I'm a busy person, be direct, you know. And I was not being rude, but I was trying to teach that person to, if you're communicating with someone, ask them something and get an answer so you can move on to the next question. So I think it's just lack of understanding how to talk to people, and that's a big thing, you know. And I think that has carried me through a lot of my years on this earth. Is I'm very talkative and I know how to communicate with people. So that has even opened doors of opportunity. So if I can say something that people really lack is communication skill, because if you can talk to people, you can get yourself from the corner to the boardroom. You can get yourself from having R1 in your account to R1 million sponsorship. So it just really depends on how you communicate and how you articulate who you are, and that goes back to character.
Tariq, you mentioned something about personal branding you have. So how important is personal branding in today's times, in today's world?
I think it relates to what I've just said earlier with regards to identity. So my name is Tariq Stokes, and I love groups of people. So when you are a trainer, you have options or different parts to go in the training field or in the health and wellness world. So for me, I love groups of people. My name is Tariq Stokes, my surname is Stokes. The best way to have put it together was Team Stokes Fitness. I love fitness, I love team, and my surname is Stokes. So I branded myself that way, but people really don't read my logo or my business page or my sign outside my business property where it says people, passion, fitness. And if you look at the way I've placed those words, people comes first before fitness, and in the middle of people and fitness is I'm passionate about fitness and I'm passionate about people. So I think for me, personal branding is extremely important. Like, everyone knows me in my community through fitness. I don't think anyone can label me to know me through anything, you know. Maybe they'll say, oh, we saw you on social media, but even through that, it's through fitness. So I'm known in the community as the guy who's into health and fitness. And I think once people know who you are, there's a level of respect that you receive, because when you stand on your character, people see who you are. You know, you can only hold a facade for too long before the community really sees who you are. And I think that's another thing, to not drift off topic, is what we're facing in our local communities, is that people are not who they are, or they're not who they say they are, and time exposes. And if you're a real person, like I believe I'm a real person, you'll be exposed to be a real person. And if you're not a real person, then you'll be exposed as not being a real person. So self-identity shows whether you're real or you're not. And in a fake world, I would choose to be real.
And this is Youth Frequency, and we're keeping it absolutely real. Whatever you said is real, brah. I shouted my daughter for saying that. I said, you never say mom, it's brah.
My mom shouts at them too, for dude.
Exactly. You know, a lot of us argue about this. Is success about qualifications, skills, or mindset? What is success?
I think that this is a very interesting question. First of all, success is defined differently depending on who you're talking to. For some people, success is all this millions of money and all these businesses. And for some people, success is just peace, or just being able to sit in the comfort of your own home and have a cup of tea. Or for some people, success is having water that day. So I think that success looks different to each and every single person. But what I will say is, between what you asked is mindset for sure. You can have anything in life, but if your mindset isn't right, then what you have is not going to be maintained. What you have is not going to stay in your life for long. But if you have the right mindset, then not only will you be able to maintain it, you'll be able to multiply it. You'll be able to attract other people who also have those mindsets, who will also be able to pour into your life in some sort of way. So no matter what you have and no matter where you go, if you have a good mindset, you will always be all right.
Yep.
Exactly. You know, challenges. You guys, the youth, face so much of challenges. You have the adults who just pick on you.
Yeah.
You know, unemployment rate, that's on the next level. We have qualified the youth who have degrees, diplomas, have the skills, but they can't find jobs. You know, or when you apply somewhere for a job, you are told they need experience.
Yeah.
So how do you get experience when no one gave you a chance? No one has given you a chance. So that's a challenge. So how do young people stay motivated when opportunities are so limited?
How do you? It's very difficult, and I think that speaks volumes to a lot of the mental health struggles that we have amongst the youth today, especially coming out of schools and, you know, trying and aiming for all of these things. As it is in school, we are really taught how difficult and how terrible it is. So it is really, really difficult to stay motivated, and that's why us as leaders, us as change makers, or rather just us as normal people who can see what's going on, it's important for us to uplift the youth, to motivate them, to speak to them. If you can see something's going on, sometimes you know something but the person might not know it, and just by you saying that to them, it can make a difference. So if you have that ability and you have the ability to see and you have the ability to hear, then why not pass that on to someone and why not share it with them in that way?
Yeah. Guys, I got a game for y'all.
Yay, this sounds fun.
Do you know, you said real change begins when? With you.
Yes.
Right. So I want you all to shout it out.
Oh.
Right, shout it
Okay.
out. Right.
Okay.
You're going to choose one
Oh, okay.
where change begins.
Okay.
Right. Keep it real. Okay. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Wow. Leader or team player?
Team player.
Team player.
Books
I
or
think
podcast?
both of those are
Leader.
important.
Books.
Books.
Podcasts.
Podcast. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird. Both. Both.
I think with a lot of them both.
Yeah, all of us are both.
When you're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, you have to be
You
both.
have to be both with a lot of things.
Okay. One word that describes today's youth?
Sustainable.
Oh, potential.
Scared.
Oh, I love that one.
Hungry.
Hungry. Don't eat us. Don't eat us. Yeah, Zach, you had one? Worried.
Yes.
But, you know, this is the truth. A lot of us, I mean, you know, we look the school way, but no one knows what you're going through.
Absolutely. That's why we have to be kind to people, because you never know what they're dealing with inside.
Yes.
Exactly.
Ooh, want to own a home. That's another word that describes
Oh,
today's youth.
yes.
Guys,
Just
please
trying to
stop
get
messing
by.
up the economy. I want a house, guys.
I know you were mentioning that last time. Inshallah, you'll definitely
I just want a house.
definitely receive a house. When you're looking at community, why is it important that no young person feels invisible? Especially when you're unemployed, you're demotivated, and we tend to forget them. So, so why is it important that no young person feels invisible?
So I think in general, from a mental health perspective, emotional health, it's important that nobody feels invisible, simply because, as you said, what we're dealing with inside, already we are dealing with all these invisible things inside of us. Nobody knows what we're feeling. I dealt with that a lot when I was young, so I really resonate with that. And it's important that someone like that understands that you are seen. There are people out there who can help you. There are people out there who do care about you, so that you don't get left behind. Otherwise, what happens is they're just in this little pockets of this darkness, and they're just dying there, struggling to survive. And that could also be causing a lot of other problems, because now they're struggling with their mental health. Maybe they go find their own vice. Maybe they're impacting other people because of it. And it really does. It's a whole cycle. It doesn't seem like a lot when one person's going through it, but when it's a whole community of youth struggling with their mental health in this way, it does really become a problem. So I think it's important important that every young person knows that they're not alone, and that you're not invisible, and that we do see you no matter how invisible you feel. And I always encourage every young person, or every person in general, speak up about what you feel. If you're going through something, especially if you feel like there's no one out there who will help, keep speaking. And if you feel like no one's listening, keep talking until you find someone that listens, because there are people who are here for you, and there are people who can make a difference.
Exactly. You know, how do we include youth who feel forgotten or left behind? So you guys are youthful. You all are youth. You all are the future leaders. So in your community, Tariq, you'll have people who feel left behind.
100%.
So how do you include them? Because remember, they're demotivated, they're unemployed, they just like feel like, gosh, I can't be there because I'm not you. I'm not my peer.
Yes. So in my community, I can only give a personal example with myself. We have to create spaces for people to feel like they belong. And specifically in Wentworth, it's besides the safety of the area, realistically, the safety, it's a bit of an unsafe place if you're really not from there. There's not enough spaces or places that people can go to and come together. So even if you did want to be involved in something, a few years ago there wasn't that. So there's been a lot of developments over the years through a lot of NPOs, churches, mosques, a lot of systems and programs that have been implemented lately by me as well, where we're creating spaces in our community, not just for the youth but for pensioners. I've also started a pensioners initiative where we have people in, as Jamie said, pockets stuck in our community going through challenges, that we're bringing them in the same community where there's darkness. We're creating spaces of lights, lamps, lighting them up, just to keep people going. And I think to answer that, in order for us to not let youth feel forgotten, we got to let them feel heard and valued. And in order to let them feel valued, they got to come into spaces where there is value being given in those spaces. So that's what we're creating. It's a challenge. I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing to create a safe space in darkness, because 100%. Once people leave that safe space, they go into the flats, or they go into the corners, or they go in. So there's only so much that you can control. But for now, as Jamie said, we are change makers. We are there to try and lead where we can. I think we need to create more safe spaces for not just youth but people in general to come together, so that they can not just be themselves, but then they can be creative. And in being creative, they can think of ways to not just better themselves but better society.
Exactly. So since you're talking about that, you know, you have a long-term goal and a vision. So I want each one of you to tell me this. Imagine South Africa 10 years from now. I will still be youthful, inshallah. So imagine South Africa 10 years from now. What role should today's youth have played today, 10 years from now, where there's change? Let's start with Jamie.
Well, I would hope they wake up and realize their power, and that their voices are heard, that their minds are powerful, and that they do know what's going on. I would hope also that the people in power start turning to the youth, because at the end of the day, they do see a lot more than what we realize, and start incorporating, you know, their voices in things. So I would hope that the youth really take their stance and take their title and their lead. It's so much more than just a title, but their position rather, in who they truly are. At the end of the day, the kingdom of heaven is the children. So I would hope that there's a personal awakening where they realize that, hey, I am important, and I do matter, and I do have a say over what happens in my country, and if change needs to be made, I can say something and it can be heard. But I also hope that the correct systems will be put in place in order for their voices to be heard.
Liam, imagine South Africa 10 years. What role should today's youth have played?
I would hope that the youth use the power of their choice and to use the power of their discernment. A lot of people don't actually fully exercise their rights in this country, a lot of them as voters. And I would hope that a lot more youth become a little bit more read up or a little bit more knowledgeable about how the country functions, who's running it, and what they're doing, what they're not doing, and how they can implement change using their voice. Use that power of choice to make the decisions that will impact the future youth. We are the youth now. We know our pleas, we know our cries, we know our pain points. It's up to us to make sure that the youth that are to follow us do not feel those same pains. We have to pave the way even if you're doing cobblestone now, and then maybe for them they put the tar on, someone else is going to put maybe the stripes on the road, and the generation maybe will put cat's eyes that we can all go trip over. But it's fine. We still like the cat's eyes.
And then we'll be flying.
You know what I'm saying? Then we got runways. Now we got the G6 and the Boeing over there. Not Golf 6, G6, a Gulfstream plane, guys. I know. From a colored community, we like that thing. But yeah.
And the Indian community, it's lower.
Yeah, it must be low. Scrape the
But then now with all the potholes.
No.
Sorry for the cars.
No, you cry later. Buy now, cry later.
I thought you were going to say buy now, pay later.
No, that one too. Yeah, it's another one that's plaguing a lot of people in South Africa. But I would really hope that the youth use the power of their choice. Yeah.
Okay. Tariq, your one?
I think for me it's a very simple one. It's just about, honestly, I do feel like in order not just for South Africa but for the world to be better, we need more solution orientated, not just youth but people, to tackle more issues. Because look, call a spade a spade. We do know what's happening in the world around us. We do know the governments that govern us. We know everything. And there's some things we can't change. And I think another thing I would like to say now is the youth must stop waiting on change. We need to be more solution orientated. We need to start implementing more initiatives that are tackling socioeconomic issues in our community. We need to start pushing to see how we can assist governments. And yes, a lot of people can have a negative cry on that, and why should we try change challenges that the government can fix, because we are in positions at times we can make changes. And that goes back to what I said about mindset and people are lazy. People really don't want to change certain situations, and I've seen not just in my community but in Newland, Sydenham, wherever, where people are genuinely making a change in the community, whether it's from feeding schemes. No one's asking the government for funding to feed people in Sydenham. People are feeding the people out of their own pockets. No one's asking to do pensioners events. People are coming together, getting sponsors and keeping pensioners active so that they can live longer. So we need to really start thinking solution orientated mindsets going forward, because if we truly want change, we need to have the braveness, and that's why I said youth are scared. We need to have the confidence as individuals, and it's a full circle conversation to close off about character. If you know who you are, you stand on what you believe in, and you're confident in what you can do. And if you're confident in what you do, you'll intentionally take a risk to make a change. And we need more risk takers to make changes.
Well, I'm the next politician. All you guys. No, I mean, I'm being serious. We need true leaders. We need people who believe in it and not fat cats, literally and figuratively. Guys, your biggest inspiration, one app you can't live without.
One app I can't live without. Hey, I don't know. WhatsApp to connect to my loved ones. I don't know.
Final Cut Pro.
Okay, and you?
Video editing software.
That's a bit of a tricky one. I'm laughing because
you don't want to say TikTok, go.
No, but I want to actually just say utilizing my own video editor, because I'm always making videos and I'm always getting interviewed. So I think it's actually just my camera. In fact, I'm always making videos. Is that good or bad? I should manage my video usage.
Exactly. Guys, we have come to the end of Youth Frequency. Time just goes. So what an inspiring conversation. Tonight we've been reminded that creating change doesn't begin with having money, power, or the perfect opportunity. It begins with showing up, getting involved, and believing that your voice matters. So communities don't become stronger by chance. They become stronger because ordinary people decide to do extraordinary things, even act kindness, even idea shared. Every hour volunteered and every young person who steps forward makes a difference. To every person listening tonight, don't wait for someone else to solve the problems around you. As Jamie, Liam and Tariq said, be the one who starts the conversation, starts the project, starts the movement. Because when young people rise, communities thrive, and truly no one gets left behind. So huge thank you, Jazakallah, to our amazing guest Tariq and our co-host Jamie and Liam for sharing your wisdom and inspiring us all. So from me, Sumaya Khan, from James, from Tariq, and from Jamie, what do we say?
Peace out.
Peace.
See you at the Kalaran.
Assalamu alaikum.
Station for Conversation, Radio Al Ansar.
An informative